welcome to episode 2 of
The Girl Downstairs podcast.
this is episode 2, Derry Girls.
We've gotten a little bit of questions about how frequently we'll be releasing episodes, and our answer to that is kind of whenever we have the time. This isn't a full-time job for us, so we don't obviously have the time to do it as much, but really whenever we have the time and whenever we can.
Yeah, also in terms of other just like housekeeping items, like if you guys like have things that as listeners that you want us to add that you don't want us to do and stuff, like we're first time podcasters, and we're like it's a learning experience.
Yeah,
Like,
we accept any constructive criticism.
yeah. But don't just feel like this is terrible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so just like it's a learning experience. Keep that in mind. Tell us what we're like doing wrong, what you want more of, what you want less of, all of that. And on that note, let's get into it.
started. Yes.
All right, Derry Girls.
So it's a show about they're Irish. It's a group of 5 Irish teenagers, really. I think it's 5. Yeah. And they're just kind of documenting their life. They all go to the same high school, and just kind of, it's like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's like not a very well-known show, but it's absolutely
It's such a good show.
another like sitcom. It has like 2 seasons available on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's about just like these teenagers in I think Ireland, and then it's like in the time where like Ireland and England are like not having it really
Yeah.
at each other, and then like that's like just like in the background, and then it's basically just a show about their lives with all that like Ireland England stuff in the background, and then like bridges fall down because like people are like bombing. But really it's about the like teenagers, and it's absolutely hilarious, and they all have nice little accents.
Nice little accents. Yeah.
But it's a great show. So
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's so good.
um all right, I think that one thing that definitely needs to be talked about in Dairy Girls is the absolutely iconic characters.
They're all so great.
We talked about this in like kind of a New Girl too. Characters can just absolutely shape a show, and I think in this case they definitely do.
Especially like they all have their own like personality type. They're all very different people, which makes it like they still work together so well, and it just makes the show much more interesting, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna talk about some of the characters, I guess. So one of the main characters let's start with like the main character. Her name is Erin.
She might be my least favorite character out of the 5.
Of the 5, yeah, that's for sure. She's like she's just like one of the teenagers, and like a lot of the show takes place like centered like around her and like the places she goes, and like
And the main family that's like talked about is her family, because also her cousin is another one of the 5 teenagers. Her name's Orla.
character who we'll get into a little bit later. Yeah, so then there's Erin, and she's just like she's probably the most like average out of them, I'd say. Everyone kind of has deciding like character traits and stuff, and so does she, but compared to everyone else who are just like so like special and make the show so like
Interesting.
interesting and like unique, she's pretty basic.
She's the most like rule abiding person, which makes her the most boring, sort of.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I wouldn't say she's rule abiding, but she's a very classic like 16-year-old teenage girl who's like, I want to rebel against my parents.
but she's not good at rebelling against your parents.
She's not good at it, and that's where like the funniness comes in,
Yeah.
and that's when it like becomes funny there.
She's a good character, but she's just kind of boring.
Yeah, for sure, I agree that she's a good.
But like I don't hate her.
Yeah, no, it's like that. It's just that. Yeah, she's also a good character to have around because like she's pretty consistent, I'd say. She's
That's true, yeah.
very like similar and like just like always kind of like there. And when you have unique like special characters that like when you have characters that are really funny, a lot of the time they're like borderline basically. Have consistent characters there like Aaron, that's also like good for a show and makes it good.
Yeah. And you don't want 5 like reckless teenagers.
That's
Cuz
kind of what we have, but
I guess, but you want, I don't know.
yeah. Moving on to the next character. Okay, let's talk about Orla because she came up. So,
I like her.
yeah,
I mean, I don't like her, but she's really funny.
he's hilarious.
The like opening scene of the show is her reading Aaron's diary, and like it's just such a funny scene.
Like opening scenes I think I've ever seen into a show or like a movie or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Orla is Aaron's cousin,
Yeah, they're cousins.
and she doesn't like have a dad really, but her mom lives with the family as well.
Yeah.
And her mom is also like crazy.
Her mom's iconic.
Bit later, but a lot of her mom's like craziness got passed onto Orla, but just in like a super funny way.
Yeah.
There's this like really weird person who just like doesn't give any care at all. Care at all what other people do or like what other people think of her, and that makes her very different from the other characters, I'll say, and very interesting within those characters.
Yeah, definitely. She's also just like the dynamic between Aaron and Orla is so funny
Funny. Yeah.
because they're cousins, but they act like friends. Like they feel like friends, cousins, and sisters. Like I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like in a way Aaron and Orla are only really friends through the other people, and Orla's always just kind of there. But when
Yeah.
real life it would kind of suck, but in a TV show it's just so great, and I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Because it's like she's the type of person that even though she's left out a bit, she doesn't care really. Like she entertains herself enough.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, entertaining herself, most definitely. She's
Yeah.
expertly at that. Okay, moving on to a new character, I guess.
Yeah. We can do Michelle next.
Oh,
She's I don't really know if I like her or not.
what? She's
Do
like,
you not?
I love her. She's
Oh, okay, good.
a great character.
She's not my favorite character. I don't know who my favorite character is, honestly, but like
Hard to say with like, because also, again, Michelle is very different than the rest of the characters, and because
yeah.
single character has their own like personality and none of them are similar or anything, it becomes difficult to like judge who you like the most. But I think Michelle is absolutely iconic, absolutely cool.
Probably she brings the most humor to the show, probably.
Yeah, she's one of the funniest characters. I wouldn't say the most necessarily, but one. Yeah, she's a very very funny character who will like make you laugh consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. she's like she's a friend of them, of Orla and Aaron, not family.
Aaron and Aaron's mom is sort of rivals, sort of friends with Michelle's mom.
Yeah, but Michelle's mom doesn't come up that much. Basically, they're just
Yeah.
friends, and yeah.
Oh, and moving on, Michelle is cousins with James, who comes into the show. He isn't like a staple because he came from America. No, he is a staple once he gets there, but like he comes like
He came from England, and they all like hate him. And he goes
oh yeah, no, okay.
goes to this all girls school because if he went like a boys school, he would get bullied so much
Because he's English.
because he's English that they just put him in a boys school, and just that that they put him in a girls school, and just that plot line really about James tells you a lot about him, because he basically just like fits into that thing. And then there's just like his main qualities as a character is just that Michelle and Aaron are bossing him around the whole
Yeah, and they call him, what do they call him? Like the wee British boy or something?
time. The wee British boy. And everyone's like very weirded out by him at the beginning because they're like,
Yeah.
he's English.
Because a British boy at an all girls Irish school is not going to fit in.
I mean, the poor guy, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think he would have done worse though at an all boys school.
Probably, but
Yeah.
still, either way, no matter his situation.
Yeah.
And Michelle is cousins with him and like hates him.
Hates him, but like in a playful way though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like she doesn't try to like, I don't know, like beat him up.
There's very funny things about him just like being an English guy. Like at one point, he's like, "Where do I use the bathroom at the school?" And they're like, "Pee in a can. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he was like, "Can I go to the faculty one?" They were like, "Ew, no." He was like, "Can I go to the girls one?" They were like, "Oh my god, pervert."
And then he like pees on a plant or something, and then like a teacher.
Detention.
Um, okay, moving on to what definitely could be the best character.
Claire.
No,
What the?
Michael.
We're gonna just forget about Claire?
We'll come back to Claire.
Okay, Sister Michael. Yeah, she's great.
Sister Michael isn't. So Sister Michael is like they go to like yeah, they go to like this.
I think it's Catholic.
Yeah, Sister Michael is just like the
Sister? I don't know that much about this.
main like nun there, who's like kind of the boss, but she like also like hates children at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
She's great.
these like five teenagers get into a lot of trouble, so they're often sent to her office and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some very funny like plot lines in there, including Sister Michael, and then like in the second season, there's like a group of like Ukrainian kids, I think it is, that come and like each
Yeah.
like gets one.
They get like assigned to one of the students,
Yeah.
and then they like stay with them at their house. It's weird.
Michael is like not really having it, and it's very funny. Yeah, just like once again, kind of Sister Michael is kind of similar to Michelle in the way that she brings a lot of comedy to the show, but in every other way, she is very, very different from Michelle.
Yeah. I mean, she feels like kind of the one of the type of teachers to like kind of like more the like bad kids, because she finds more humor in Michelle. Like she likes Michelle probably more than like Aaron or something.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Talking about like bad kids versus good kids, probably the ultimate like good behaving child in the show, Claire.
She's so funny. They got sent to the principal, or not principal. They got sent to Sister Michael once, and she just, I forget how she said it, but she was like, "I can't do this. It wasn't me." I can't do an Irish accent, but it was so funny.
Nothing to do with me. Yes, okay, I was there. I admit that, but I didn't do anything. It was Michelle. It was all Michelle. I'm not going down for something I didn't do. If anyone deserves to get punished, it should be Michelle.
Well, I think it's safe to say we all just lost a bit of respect for you there, Claire.
She's like the goody two shoes of the group, and a lot of the because it's like a sitcom little comedy thing, so there is like just like funny most of the time. So she is incorporated into like the comedy of the show. It's just Michelle and Aaron forcing her to do things that she does not want to do at all, and then it's just kind of like her and James in the background being like, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a great character. She also, in like what I think it's the second season, she comes out as lesbian. And it's just the strangest reaction from all of her friends.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, you're the wee lesbian." It's just so weird. But yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say great, but she's a character that's probably very essential to the show.
Yeah.
Who
And
else?
she's kind of the only one who doesn't really have a relation like her family doesn't have a relationship with Aaron or Orla's family.
That's true.
Because like Michelle and James, their mom is friends with Aaron's mom, but Claire's just kind of like lone wolf, sort of, but not at all.
Yeah. So those are really like the essential main characters. Just some of like the side characters. There's Ma, Mary, Dog.
Todd, Jerry.
Looked at, but is honestly so funny that they're referred to as Ma, Mary, and Da Jerry.
Yeah, and what is it like? Granda,
That Joe or something.
Granda Joe. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So those are the main characters. And really, what going back to like the main question that I like to ask about the TV shows or movies that me and Penelope have watched, like what makes it a great show? The characters, and that's like running theme now.
And the dynamic between them really makes it just all the more funny.
Yeah. In last episode in New Girl, we talked about the dynamic. We talked about like the friendships in terms of like on-screen like chemistry. That's just obviously there. I think that relates to Derry Girls a little bit, but honestly, even if they weren't like great and stuff and like chemistry, it could still have the possibility to like be a good show because of like how it was written and how the characters were written into the show, because they're also like like a lot of them have like very like weird like controversial almost like relationships and dynamics.
But the difference between like New Girl and Derry Girls is that in New Girl, even though it's a big group of friends, they all have little like side friendships with each other. But in Derry Girls, there isn't as much of that. It's just kind of one big friend group, I would say.
That's true. And it's also like I'm not like really trying to compare it to New Girl because it's very different in just like so many ways.
Yeah.
So what plays like a major part is just how long it is. I would love another season of Derry Girls right now. I think there's only 2, maybe.
Before COVID, they said that they were making a third one, and I think that's kind of just been canceled,
Yeah.
which is annoying. It's a great show.
Good show. Okay. Moving on. Wait. Okay, sorry. I thought I had to sneeze. Moving on into some Derry Girl plot lines that are just
They're all so good.
I mean, we talked about this a little bit in characters. Penelope, do you want to get us like started with one of them?
One of my favorite ones is probably like when Father Peter, I think his name is, like shows up. He's like a father. I don't know honestly why he's there. But he's, bless you. But he's great. He shows up. I don't really know why he's there again, but like Aaron thinks that like he's in love with her, and then James is like also kind of in love with him.
Yeah.
It's just very funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great plot line. I agree. When Father Peter is brought in, so I think he just like he.
Oh, is it because the dog died? Doesn't he like come to like bury the dog?
I'm gonna actually talk about that plot line then. There is a hilarious episode. They are all like at church or something.
Yeah.
And they see like a statue of like some biblical.
Mother Mary, I think.
I have no idea. And then in like the upstairs part where like other people are like sitting, there's this like stray dog. That's like
No, it's not.
And he's peeing, and then it goes down the like biblical statue, and they all think they've seen like the live reincarnation of the.
No. They think they saw like Mother Mary cry.
Yeah, they think it's like crying, and it's hilarious. And then yeah, maybe Father Peter was brought in because of that. I'm not actually sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, he was brought in because Sister Michael did not believe them.
Yeah.
But then the only reason they were in the church is because they thought the dog was their lost dog.
Yeah.
And it like was? Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, and then like another family had it because the mom wasn't like in the mood for the dog anymore.
So that's a great plot line right there. Another great one is, I think this is in the second season, as I already talked about. When the Ukrainian teenagers come into play, and then there's this other minor character that we could have talked about. His name is Jenny Joyce, and she's like the rich, like privileged kid of their like high school, and like everyone kind of hates her, but she's like runs like everything, and then she
Yeah.
this like Ukrainian child program. And then there's like competition of who gets like the best kid. And then at one point with like errands, it comes out that in fact the Ukrainian kid is some like child out of like England who like got on the wrong bus and then hasn't like spoken since then.
Yeah, so they didn't know because he.
Everything. And then that obviously just becomes so funny because like you can kind of like imagine when Aaron, who's this like obsessed person who's like, I have to be Jenny Joyce, I have to be Jenny Joyce. It's like, come on, John Joe, talk. And then he like starts talking, and then James is like, oh my god, he's English, yay! And it's complete chaos, and it becomes so funny.
Yeah. I'd say another one of my favorite plot lines is it's a funeral for someone, forget who, and they think that there's pot in the scones. So they try to flush the scones down the toilet, and then they just keep going up, and it's just the funniest thing in the world.
I actually just remembered what Penelope's talking about. It's hilarious.
Definitely.
Like, oh, I saw in this like movie that if you have drugs and you need to get rid of them, just flush them down the toilet. But these aren't like just like hard drugs.
This isn't just like a thing of cocaine. It's scones.
Like scones with like weed in them or something.
Yeah.
So they start flushing these scones down the toilet, and then it like overflows, and then the like ceiling like crashes in or something. Something very weird happens, and then they just like leave and are like, oh, I hope so. And then
Their family eat it though. Their family ate some.
the grandpa takes them home because he's like, oh my god, these are so good. And they're like, ah.
And then they like, it's like breakfast the next morning, and they're like, hey, you want a scone? And then
Look at each other, and it's just, yeah. What
gold.
great plot lines. And I think that's where a lot of, like, that's where Derry Girls also becomes different than your classic little like 7-season sitcom of like just like kind of like they're all like very similar. They're all very funny, but they're all very similar. And Derry Girls is different in the way that it has a very like big like plot and like many different smaller plots in that. And like other TV shows have that too, obviously. But I think they're smaller than they are in Derry Girls, and that's once again like the thing that to me at least makes Derry Girls special and makes it a good show. And that combined, those like small hilarious plot lines combined with these like character dynamics and these like special unique characters just makes it a great show.
Yeah, because also every plot line just like perfectly fits with the dynamic of their group. Perfectly fits like every character perfectly like works in that plot line. Like their just personality just shows through every plot line, and that's probably what makes it good for me, I think.
Yeah, that I definitely agree with that. And like that like you have to like find the things in every show that makes the show like special to you and what makes it good to you, and that's definitely that like hits it on the head. So.
Yeah. That was
I think we're ready to move into this episode's game.
Yes.
Once again, we're just doing our draft first. So today we're once again going to be drafting just like the best characters.
4 people for each person.
I get the first pick this time.
Yes.
In general in the drafts, we are in like different shows. We're hoping to get like different, more like creative drafts in a way. But in a show like Derry Girls, we're the where the characters are so iconic and so special. We definitely feel that we just have to draft the best characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. God.
Your first pick.
Oh, this is so hard. Um, look at my draft board. With the number 1 pick, I am choosing Sister Michael.
That's a fair choice. Yeah, I would pick that. For my first choice, I'm going to go with Michelle.
That is definitely a good choice. Yeah. Because I've talked so much about the uniqueness of characters, I feel I just have to pick this, and I think it's actually a good second pick. It wouldn't like work as first or anything. I'm choosing Orla.
Okay, that's solid. Yeah. I'm gonna pick. Ooh, I have 2 choices. I say I'm picking James.
I did not think you were gonna pick that, and then I was gonna take that, and I was gonna be so happy.
Michelle and James just work so perfectly together.
Yeah, for sure. Those at 1 and 2 are very good picks.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm gonna go ahead and pick who I know Penelope definitely wants. I'm gonna pick Claire.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. My next choice, I have Aaron or someone else. I don't like Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Father Peter.
Interesting choice. I don't know if that's a good pick, but I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay, Father Peter with Penelope's 3rd pick. God, I don't. No, I kind of want to choose the dead dog, but I'm not gonna do that. uh. Huh.
I think we've gotten all the good characters.
Definitely have. Right now, we have all like the elite characters right now, and now we're in like the second tier where it's just kind of like everyone else because everyone's a good character, but and there's like just like the greats up there, the goated characters.
You could choose Ma Mary, Da Jerry, or Grandad Joe.
Definitely an option in the running right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Ma Mary for the reasoning of a lot of the just hilarious plot lines don't necessarily include her in like the climax and the main part of them, but they almost always start with Ma Mary.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I have who I have. I have Michael. No, Michelle. Michelle, James, and Father Peter. Okay, my last pick.
It's a toughie.
Wait, have you already done all your 4 picks?
I have. That was my.
Oh, then I have free reign. Okay. This is probably controversial. Actually, no, I haven't made my decision yet, so I don't know if it's controversial. I think I'm gonna have to go with Aaron.
Okay. I find that controversial, but I think the
Yeah.
most people who watch Derry Girls would not find that controversial.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, I don't hate her.
yeah.
And I think she works well with Michelle and James.
Just like we talked about last time in New Girl, just like Erin and Jess are kind of similar in a way. I
That's true.
don't like hate her, but when you have so many other elite characters that I just love,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to like say that I like love her or that I like her as a character just as much.
Yeah, if you have like 10 like really interesting, like funny characters and you have one boring character, then obviously that's going to be your least favorite.
Yeah. Okay. So just quick review of the draft. My 4 picks were at number 1, Sister Michael. Number 2,
Solid.
Orla. Number 3, Claire. Number 4, Mom Mary. And Penelope's 4 were
I had number 1, Michelle. Number 2, James. Number 3, Father Peter. And number 4, Aaron.
yeah. Solid draft for sure. I think this one's a closer call. I think I won. But maybe we'll post it on social media this time without a winner, and then you guys tell us who won.
I mean, I think you probably did, but I think we both had strong picks.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give myself the dub on this one. The win. Okay. To finish up this episode, we have our trivia questions.
Yes.
Penelope, you want to go first?
Okay, sure. My first question: what is the name of the lady who owns the chip shop? I can give you 3 choices if you want.
Guy?
Say again?
Is he a man?
No.
Okay, there's 2 like stores that are a big thing in the show. One of them is like the place where they're like always like stealing candy and then they buy like the off-brand American flag. Or is the chip shop like the fast food restaurant?
Well, I wouldn't call it fast food, but yeah, they get like fish and chips from there.
Okay, I got you. I was thinking of a different store. Got you. Give me the options, please.
Okay. Fianola. Don't know how I'm saying that right. Maggie or Deirdre.
Deirdre.
Wrong.
What?
It was Fia. Okay, I don't know how to. It's Fionnuala. Fianuala.
Not a fan of that question because I would have never gotten that. Like, there's no way ever. Okay, Penelope, this one is very easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of mad that you gave me like hard questions and I give you easy questions. What is the religion of the characters?
I'm pretty sure Catholic.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, because I know they hate the Protestants.
Yeah.
That's the Catholic.
All right, Penelope, you go.
What was the name of Erin's dog she thought had been killed in a car accident? I can give you options once again.
I think I know this.
Do you?
I don't know.
Do you want me to give you options?
I want to say I have this question open from where I got my questions. But I didn't actually look at the answer yet.
Okay.
Yeah, give me the options, would you? Because I have an idea in mind.
Elvis. I think you're gonna get this right after I give you the things. Elvis, Toto, or Cooper.
Toto.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking before. I just wanted to make sure that your options were similar to my options.
Okay.
Okay. This one's kind of difficult. This one's I'll give this a medium. What is Sister Michael's favorite after-school activity? Okay, this one's kind of difficult. I'm gonna see if I can go back and give you.
Do you have answers that I can pick from?
I think so. Give me a moment. Yeah, wait, I have to pull it up for a second, but then I do have options. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Option 1, getting into her hot tub.
Okay.
Option 2, judo. Option 3, crosswords. Option 4, watching Robot Wars. And option 5, Sudoku.
Judo.
Correct. Darn, I really wish I hadn't gotten that. Okay.
I remember that it started with a J. I did not remember what it was. Okay, I have 2 questions that are both hard.
Give me the easier one and the better one.
Okay. Well, one of them is okay. One of them is strange. I'll give you this one. What is the name of the school attended by the Derry girls?
Come on.
The other one was, what did Father Peter use on his hair? I don't think you were gonna get that.
Okay, the name of the school, I feel. Are there options?
Yeah.
Share.
Okay, you're gonna immediately get it after I give you the options.
Get it once you give me the options because I have like ideas. I'm just not sure.
Okay, this is annoying. Saint Helena's College, Our Lady Immaculate College, or Our Lady's High School.
Our Lady Immaculate College.
Yeah. Okay, this is rigged. I'm giving you the answers.
Okay, ready? Third.
Yeah.
I could give you like options. I really hope that you choose to not take them. Okay, Penelope, do you remember the iconic scene where there is a talent show and Orla performs her step aerobics routine?
Yes.
What song does she perform that routine to?
It's a Madonna song.
Yes, I'll give you that one. Now you just have to guess what Madonna song.
I don't know Madonna songs, Yana.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna give you some options actually, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you the options the website gave me because you already said it was a Madonna song, and the other ones weren't by Madonna.
You're just gonna give me options of Madonna songs? Okay.
Okay. Alright, ready?
Sure. Not really.
That come up when you Google. Okay, La Isla Bonita,
That's not it.
Up, Vogue, Papa Don't Preach, Like a Prayer.
That's it. Like a prayer.
Yeah, you're correct.
Let's go. Okay, I think did we both go 3 for 3?
I think I went 2 for 3, unfortunately.
Wait, what question didn't you get? Oh, the lady chip shop one.
Yeah. It was a stupid question. Okay. Well, thank you for listening once again.
If you haven't watched Dairy Girls, go do it. It's an amazing show.
And if you have watched Derry Girls, and you
Watch it again.
if you have watched Derry Girls and you have not listened to episode 1 of the Girl Downstairs podcast, check that out right now. That one's about New Girl, another great show.
And if you have any comments, any questions, any constructive criticism, we have an Instagram at the Girl Downstairs podcast that you can go comment under.
You can also contact us through our website, through YouTube, like comments, anything really. We'll check that. Yeah, so once again, our podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. So check out all the episodes, put on notifications, subscribe, comment, like, do all that.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. And
Yep. We'll see you next time.
bye.